Okie dokie. So we are live, we are on, and recording has started right away. So thank you everyone for joining on time. I'm sure others will join us with time. It's great to have everyone on the call tonight with me. I mean, it's usually very awesome to have you spend your Saturday learning. I know it's been a lot trying to get through the week. I know most of us are wrapping up with the summer classes and preparing full force to resume for the academic term. So yes, we're going to dive straight into it, like I've mentioned, because I mean it's been a long day for everybody, but we just have to do what we have to do. So I'm sure we can see my screen. All right. Um, sorry about that. I'm just having a bit of hiccups there. Let me just take some water. Okay, good.
Sorry.
Thank you. So we're starting off with tonight's conversation on what you need to know about education consulting. And it's going to be in twofold. So I've decided to kind of put a two-in-one together because I believe that a lot of us are really looking forward to learning and being effectively into putting our game on to become effective and get started into education consulting. So I'm going to be taking us on transitioning into education consulting as well. And I'm also going to be taking what you need to know about education consulting. So it's like a two-in-one, right? So I just wanted to show this so that we will not be wondering, are we in another class? However, this is what I'm going to be starting with us tonight because I just want to hit the ground running. Okay, so now the very, very important thing we all need to know is that we need to have a fundamental understanding about the education sector and transitioning from an educator to being an education consultant. The truth is that the education sector actually spans both formal and informal education. And as a whole, you know, we have the primary, okay, the early years, so the early years people will not come after me. The early years, because I have some of them highly represented on this call. The early years, the primary, the secondary, the tertiary, the vocational training, and then we have lifelong learning opportunities. So oftentimes, most of us just think about the primary, secondary, and tertiary, leaving out the early years, leaving out vocational training, leaving out lifelong learning opportunities. And of course, we know that it spans between the public and the private sectors, government agencies, interestingly, non-for-profits and other stakeholders that contribute to learning, skill development, and personal growth. So why am I sharing this? It's just to widen our mindset such that we are not just limited to just what we are familiar with, but begin to think across a wider array of clients that we can serve. Majorly, what are the key elements of the education sector? We have the institutions, we have the governance and policies, we have the funding and economics, and then we have the technology and innovation. Now, these are key areas that we need to look into. So as an education consultant, it's important that you are not just limiting your work to just institutions. You are looking at how you can provide support to government bodies, okay, Ministry of Education, policy regulation, curriculum standards, revamping, reviewing, upgrading, and updating. Then some of us could have interest in looking at the funding and economics, both for public and private funding sources, budget allocations, grants, economic consideration that will actually help to shape access to education and quality. So what I also always tell people is that education consulting is not limited to, I mean, the aspect of access is a huge untapped untapped arena because, I mean, statistics shows that Nigeria still have about the highest number of out-of-school children. So that means that access is even nothing to write home about. And then we then look at the aspect of, quality. So we have a lot that is staring at our face, and I just want to open our hearts to the fact that there is a lot we can do. So let's look at the scope of the sector. Like I said, aside from the four major areas that I spoke about, there's also the stream of the special education and adult literacy programs. And so what does this stand for us? It stands for us to say that beyond the schools and the impact workforce environment that we focus on, there's the aspect of national economic growth, social inclusion, and innovation that is grossly affected, and that we can begin to look into as someone that wants to solve problems in the education space. Now, why is it important for us to understand the sector? It is because it will provide us with the essential tools that we need to be effective and provide relevant advice, support, and solutions across board, right? And one other thing that I really want us to take a very close look is reasons why understanding the sector is crucial for all consultants. Someone's mic is on. Could you please help us mute? It's quite distracting. Yeah, thank you. So we then want to consider reasons why we need to understand the sector and why it's crucial for us. Now, the first thing is that if we are looking into education consulting, like I would always say, consulting simply means problem solving. In other words, you have the capacity to identify, not just identify, you have the capacity to monitor trends, you have the capacity to have a forecast, you have the capacity to have a purview, you have the capacity to be proactive in even foreseeing what problems may arise, having an internalized perspective across even areas that you think, or a lot of people think, is well taken care of. So there is a wide range of you being circumspect and being able to see how you can position yourself, even as an educator, to begin to solve grandeur problems in a geometric scale. All right, I'm still going to share a bit of my personal story, but I'm just laying the foundation of the fact that we need to understand this sector, at least to a large extent, looking at the problems that are staring at us at the face, and then being able to begin to look at how we need to solve it. So the reason why we need to understand the sector is that we need to identify and address needs that are pressing, that have the capacity to even take to overturn or overtake the entire sector. We need to be able to adapt to sector-specific challenges. So as consultants, we must understand that there's so much problems ranging from funding to public education to retention issues, in even enrolling of teacher trade. What do we call it? In tertiary institutions for teacher educators or student teachers. To now, I'm sure a lot of us know the pandemic that is facing us. I think at this point, I would like us to have a conversation. How many of us know the current? I would like us to engage in the chat. The current pandemic really, really facing the sector. I want to see some comments in the chat. We have a very massive. At this point, I want us to talk heart to heart. We have something that is becoming like a pandemic now. I need comments in the chat. My eyes are on the chat. I need comments in the chat. We have a particular major issue staring at us at the face, and it's becoming not just a local issue, but it's becoming almost like a national and Pan-African issue. Okay, let's look at it. Yes, Nora. Nora, you got it right. Yes, there's a high pandemic of online school and virtual space. And guess what? Most of the people migrating are classroom teachers that are begin to see that they can have autonomy over their time. They can have autonomy over their economy, less kind of rigid work structure. So at this other point, I would like us to begin to brainstorm. What kind of opportunity do you think you can leverage in to become an education consultant in this area? So like I said, we're going to be talking heart to heart. I'll be sharing slides, but I just want to make this conversation very practical. So with this pandemic, so there's a massive movement from classroom teaching to online, being an online tutor. Yes, that's the word that is being used across board. Being an online tutor, there is a massive migration. So can we use the chat and type in, what do we think? How do you think you can leverage on this pandemic? I was talking about understanding the sector, being very circumspect and seeing how we can begin to solve problems that are prevalent and also solve problems that seems to be coming closer than we think. So I want one or two suggestions. How do you think you can actually leverage on this? Yeah. I'm waiting for us. Any suggestions? Ha! People of God. Are there ways or are there things that we feel that we can begin to do that we can actually be able to leverage AI integration into learning? Yeah. Well, I have a lot of alumni members in the room. Fantastic, Madam Lucy. Schools should be thinking of hybrid. So the thing is that, Nora, how can you position yourself to be the hybrid expert consultant? Nora, I've given you title. So that if a school is looking out for somebody that can help them establish their hybrid system of learning. Have you talked about that? So I'm trying to jumpstart our head to see how we can begin to position ourselves. Fantastic, fantastic. So it's not just we identifying the problem, or it's not just we trying to just mention the solution, but how can we be the solution? So I'm sure with this statement that I have, great one there. Yeah. So I'm sure with this that I've so now I want to take us into the fact that I want us to look inward. What problem do you think you can solve for the sector in such a way that people will pay you premium for it? Let's quickly have like 5 responses in the chats and I will continue with my conversation. Yeah. 5 people mentioned like 5 problems. You never can tell. I just want us to think deeply. So I think for me, one of the things that has made me to be like an household brand is because I'm always thinking, my brain is always started, because whenever I cite any problem, I'm always excited. Why? It's an avenue for me to solve this problem. It's an avenue for me to earn massively. It's an avenue for me to be okay. Idowu Kemi says mathematics made easy for learners. Great. So how can that be a consulting? Can you repackage it in a consulting cliche? Is there a way you can rebrand it? Because a lot of educators out there would say that, mathematics made easy for learners. But how can you do it in a grandeur scale? How can you, because see, if we don't learn how to think critically and be intentional about problem solving around our clients, it's going to be very tough for us to increase in influence, increase in impact, increase in income. And that's really what being an education consultant is really about. Sincerely, men and brethren, I'm telling you the fact, right? So that's part of what I've come here to do tonight. I've not come here to just be talking to you. I've come here to spark up the curiosity in you. I've come here to provoke you to think critically, sincerely, right? So still hold on to your thoughts. I mean, they are very valid. I'm just doing some junk starting. So navigating policies and compliance, building capacity and trust, fostering innovation and adaptation. So like I said, the early childhood education, we have the primary education, we have the secondary education, we have the tertiary or higher education, which this is, interestingly, this is an aspect I'm beginning to look into. I'm just telling you ahead of time so that before you say, Dr. Tony again, yes. Then the vocational and technical education is something I'm also a bit passionate about. But I mean, it's something that, so whenever I want to solve a problem in a particular sector, I take time I don't rush in because I want to get in there big and do a deep work. So I'm saying all of this because these are opportunities that we can begin to explore outside what we are familiar with, right? And one of the reasons why I decided to do this webinar and we have the Education Consulting Certification Program is because at some point people felt that because they are trainers, they are automatically education consultants. But it's a deeper work because I actually enrolled in the School of Consulting UK in 2021 and my eyes were literally open wide. So adult education and lifelong learning is also an aspect that we cannot overlook, where we can begin to create flexible learning models, digital accessibility, and develop courses that caters to diverse adult learners population. And that population is huge. In fact, a lot of people that are not even co-educators are leveraging and are maximizing on those areas. People have master classes. People have, what do you think they're doing? They are literally consulting. They are literally teaching. If I'm making sense, type in there MS, which means make sense, make sense, make sense. Okay, so basically these are some areas that I just wanted to quickly touch on. But before I finish, I'm going to be sharing with us, I have about 21 different areas of of opportunities for you as an education consultant, but I'll just be sharing with you 11 because I mean, if you sign up for the main program, you will be having this 22 to your beck and core. So yes, most of us know a lot around professional development and training, curriculum design and implementation, educational technology and integration, school accreditation and compliance is also something very big. We have the aspect of student assessment and performance improvement. In fact, I have a very close friend that is big on this aspect, and that's the area he's branding himself in. Year in, year out, we have the Island Summit, which I'm a critical part of, and all he's just taking advantage of is how to measure assessment effectively to check out for performance, you know, over a long period of time in the lives of students and even institutions as a whole. Then, of course, we have the aspect of strategic planning and school improvement. We have the aspect of special education consulting, college and career readiness program, parent engagement and community. We have the aspect of policy development and advocacy. And of course, we have the aspect of early childhood consulting. Okay, so I just touched on that very quickly because I really, really wanted to have our minds really thinking about what we can actually do. So I don't always assume that everyone on the call actually know me or that they automatically know who I am. So I am Dr. Toyin Sam Emehelu, and I'm the convener of this beautiful webinar. And I would like to say a very big thank you to everyone that joined in. I think currently now we are over 20 people on the call. Yeah, and about 20 of us on the call. And it's my great pleasure to be with you this evening. So I'm a competent, seasoned global education consultant. I'm a certified leadership coach and mentor. I've actually mentored over 1,000 leaders cutting across different sectors of the economy, and I've helped close to 70, no longer 60 educators transition into education consultants through our education consultancy certification program. I'm a mentor with MasterCard Teach for Nigeria, Tony Elumelu Landmark Foundation, and of course, I'm the founder and executive consultant at Core Skills Transformational Academy Limited. I'm also a certified business consultant from the School of Consulting, like I mentioned, in the UK, and I have my doctorate in educational planning and management from Prowers University in the United States of America. I'm a certified public leadership and policy expert. Yeah, thank you for the claps. I can see you. Thank you. And fellow at the Chartered Institute of Mentoring and Coaching Nigeria, International Management Consultant, and the Pan-African Consultants Association. I'm the partnership lead at Equip Nigeria, which happens to be the John C. Maxwell Foundation. Author of 28 books, having 5 books in the oven cooking right now. I'm working tenaciously to release it by the time we have the World Teachers Day, which is October 5th, 2025. 5 new books I want to release before that time on that very day. And I'm a recipient of several awards. I'm a wife and a mother of 2 young, astonishing leaders. So yes, one of the beautiful things, I've laid the foundation on the fact that there's so much problem in the sector. And unfortunately, a lot of times we sit down, we soliloquize, we talk, we are very empathetic, saying, oh no, oh yeah, and all of that about the problem that we go through as educators or in the sector. But the truth is that when you begin to think outside of the fact that the problem exists and begin to look at how you want to be providing solution, no matter how little, then that means you're beginning to think of being a consultant, because it allows you to leverage your expertise in education to then impact on a broader range of schools, educators, students, and even the education sector, and by extension, the society. So as an education consultant, you can actually impact education at a scale where you can influence systemic change, cutting across policies, curriculum design, tech teaching methodologies, and have a broad impact on the education system. So people may say, oh, I'm not up there. I'm not the Minister of Education. I'm not the, what do they call it now? Commissioner for Education, Lagos State, yada, yada, yada. But in that little space, how are you retweaking the learning for your children in your deliverables to make it in such a way that it begins to bring about solving problems that on a normal day other teachers will overlook, other educators will overlook? And how are you documenting? That is very, very critical, because you may be doing a lot, but if you are winking in the dark, unfortunately, people will not get to see you. All right. So yes, I'm not saying you should go against your school policy. So for example, child protection policy, you have to protect, but your work, nobody says you can't snap your worksheets, your templates, and all of that, and share on social media in such a way that you never can tell. More than ever before, you have opportunity to do a lot around this. Now, another thing is that why you should be an education consultant is that it helps to open diverse opportunities and flexibility, where you will then have opportunity to tackle unique challenges in various settings, right? So that was me right there. I think this was, where was I coming from here? Okay, yes, this was when I was coming in from Edo State in Nigeria. So I was on a one week trip to Edo State, and I remember at the trip, the project I was working on was with the Edo State government in curating and training what we call script writers. So script writer simply means that these are people that have been saddled with the responsibility to be able to provide like a learning template to train the teachers that would teach the children, and I was to equip them with the skills to be able to do this. So you realize that at that level, I'm not solving a problem that is pedestrian in its sense, and it was an all expense paid trip. I mean, I was lodged in a luxurious hotel, had a great time, having fun, also doing what I know how to do best. So you can have a glimpse of what I'm trying to say and why it's important for you to know some of these things about being an education consultant. Now, one of the beautiful things is that as an education consultant, you are always on your toes, ensuring that you have what is called professional growth and development. What this does for you is that you are constantly exposed to new ideas and pedagogical approaches and educational technologies. Why? Because you know the kind of work that you do, it's impacting on hundreds and of thousands, of people over time. So you don't want to joke with your expertise. So this was me last year, the United Nations Women. I got on a program with them to learn about government procurement, especially when it comes to training and development across government spheres. We have representatives from different countries, and that's why you could see the Nigerian flag here. So what this then helped me to do was that program helped me to deepen understanding about what procurement is about. And right now, as I speak, I'm able to bid for national jobs. I'm able to go and stretch myself beyond just providing the private sector with solutions. Have I perfected it? No. However, it opened me up to the kind of information that I needed, because I want to do a whole lot more in this space. Then you are not just going to be solving ordinary challenges, but complex challenges, and with creative problem-solving skills, you are able to apply innovative and creative solutions and then collaborate to make sure that you are addressing pressing educational issues. Now, as I speak to you, I told you that I'm just coming in from a hangout. I have about 4 people on my LinkedIn inbox as I speak to you right now that I'm going to be having to schedule a meeting with later during the week. And these are not just Nigerians, but in different parts of the world. And please, if you're on this call and you are not active on LinkedIn, and this is what you are looking forward to, I don't know what you are doing. I'm sure you have heard this. It's not the first time, it's not the second time. Right now, I have about 9,800 and something connections on LinkedIn. And these are powerful connections because I don't just accept or add people, but on an average of one, in a week, I have like 1 to 2 to 3 people come into my inbox, and I'm talking about thought leaders across different countries of the world seeking for partnerships. And why? Because my LinkedIn is optimized. I'm quite active on it, even though, yes, a lot of people see likes and comments on Facebook, but LinkedIn is where the real game changer is for me. Why? Because I've also optimized my LinkedIn page in such a way that, it gives me the opportunity, it attracts opportunities to me. So I give you the permission, just go to LinkedIn, search for Dr. Toyin, Dr. Toyin Samemehelu. I think there's a Mrs. somewhere. I can't remember where the Mrs. is. Check through my title, check through even though I'm still planning to optimize it again by next month, I just changed my bio in such a way that you wouldn't even know that I'm limited to just the education sector. So please make sure that you go there, because you are then positioning yourself for people to see you as someone that solves creative problems. Okay. Then of course it gives you opportunities to entrepreneurial opportunities. Now, when I'm not saying you should jump out of your classroom, because some people are already carrying rumor that Dr. Toyin is encouraging all educators to leave their classroom. That's not what I'm saying. But in the long term, if you're somebody that you are considering entrepreneurial escapade, for example, I've been a full-time entrepreneur since 2018. So that's how many years from now away? Please, somebody type in the chat. That's how many. Yes, August, exactly this month was when I mean, that was how many years now? Yeah. So close to about 7 years, thereabout. Yeah. I've been a full-time entrepreneur. And the beautiful thing is that it gives me high autonomy and I'm able to have potential for significant financial rewards. And of course, I've been able to also build a lot, setting fees, selecting clients I want to work with right now. And the truth is, I have been pivotal to helping the education consulting industry thrive in Nigeria. See, except anybody wants to deceive themselves. If you're thinking of somebody that can hold your hands through in this sector as an education consultant, my name comes to mind because I've been working tirelessly rather since 2020. Yeah. And I've been able to have a lot of people. So yes, I have questions already in the chat. I'm going to attend to that. All right. All right. So before I ride on, I have a lot of my mentees in the room, and I would just like one or two of them to say something about being a part of the Education Consulting Certification Program. And then we'll continue. I still have like 1, 2, 3. I still have like 5 slides to share with you. So you don't want to run out at this time. But it's important that we have this conversation because these are people that have not just committed themselves to just letting the crumbs, but they've taken the bull by the horn to go ahead to learn in depth as they kick off. All right, so at this point, I need to call on Aderonke first. I think I have about 4 or 5 of them on the call. Currently, we have 70 plus people that have been a part of this program. And yes, I'm going to be giving them opportunity to say 1 or 2 things about their experience on the program. Aderonke, are you on the call? If you're on the call, please kindly unmute. Okay.
Yes, Dr. I'm on call.
Fantastic. Please, can you increase your volume and can we see your beautiful face? If amazing. Yes. So to you.
Can you hear me clearly now?
Yes, loud and clear. Over to you,
Okay.
Aderonke.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening,
Can you
ma'am.
hear me?
Yeah, good evening.
Good
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay.
Go ahead. Yeah.
It's a pleasure to be here this evening, and Dr. Tony, I appreciate you once again for this opportunity. And everyone, good evening. So just like Dr. Tony have said, getting into contact with Dr. Tony has been amazing for me. The experience has been awesome. I've known Dr. Tony now, I think, since 2018 when she first ran a free webinar just like this on consulting. And I've been following her since then. But I don't want to even talk about the long history, the long years, and the benefits I've enjoyed being among Dr. Tony's team. Though it was early this year, I fully did the consultancy program with her. And the experience has been so wonderful that I was able to build my own portfolio. And the portfolio has been attracting though I submitted the portfolio late, but
See, confession, no.
But it has been attracting opportunities. But the
Amazing.
one I want, the current one, even Dr. Tony is not even aware. I'm just sharing it now. Is that just this past 2 weeks, I've had opportunity of getting certified with 6 different certificates.
What?
Free from the platform. I'm telling you.
What?
One was the GSDC certification.
Yes.
Global Skills Development Council.
Amazing.
And the learning was just awesome. Dr. Tony has a way. That's why her LinkedIn is just full of and you know, one thing I just want to share this evening with everyone on this call is that by the time the opportunity comes, preparation is already late. So if you don't register and become part of the consultancy arm of Dr. Tony, by the time the opportunities will start coming in, you will not be inside where you enjoy it. That is the fact.
Exactly.
So the best thing is be prepared. The opportunities are always coming. And the International Organization of Employers with Microsoft certification. Also, I finished the 6 modules. I
Amazing.
finished it. And right now, I've already engaged 2 schools that will be running the facilitation of that program for. We are just trying to fix it. Even Dr. Tony is just hearing now as I'm talking to
Absolutely. I'm
you
just
guys. So it's
hearing.
not
I'm so
something.
excited.
So 2 schools have already booked me that they will. So we are just fixing the dates now. And trust me, those 2 opportunities came free. I don't know how she gets her contacts. I don't know, but and it's very, very loaded. So I'm just giving
Yes.
you a recent benefit. I've enjoyed diverse one. It was true. Also, I joined the John C. Maxwell Foundation, and now I'm the training lead in Akwa Ibom State. And being the training lead in Akwa Ibom State have linked me to so many. In fact, I don't want, let it not sound as if I'm trying to.
Please give her flowers. Please let it sound. Let
In
it
fact,
sound
you
now.
need a garden, Dr. Tony, you need a garden, not flowers. Right now,
I
I'm
need a
even
garden.
planning on, yeah.
Yes,
No,
sir.
me, I'm not someone that it might not be flat, but I know the opportunities I've enjoyed being
Absolutely.
Dr. Tony's mentee and being in her cycle. Now, after even the program, she doesn't leave you. We have a group of ECCP
Alumni.
alumni that I joined. Even
Yes.
before I was able to get into the consultancy program fully, I bought her books, and the book is just so loaded. With that book, if you follow it bit by bit, you can even run a consultancy service without, as in, it's so loaded that, and she's always there. Once you ask Dr. Tony question, in the next 1 hour, you already have answers. So
Yeah.
she's not someone that after running the course with her, then that is all. No, it keeps giving. I'm just telling you about the opportunity I got just this last 2 weeks.
Yes.
And
Fantastic.
even right now, I'm still in a group now, Women in Digital Business.
Yes. What module are you now? What module are you now?
I've done my module 5. I'm supposed to submit my
I'm
5.
starting
Yes.
module. I'm starting module 4 this week. I did module 2 and 3 on
No,
Monday.
I just need to
I'll be
submit
continuing.
my work for module 5. Then I'll
Whoa,
be all done.
amazing. All right. So let's just proceed.
Yeah. So
Wrap up, please.
my final wrap up is that let's prepare. And there are so many. Look at, he has even given us option of the niche we need to really get into right now with the current problems we are having in the educational sector.
Yes.
And let me even give another hint. From the course I ran during the training program this year, I have developed a template for a definitely different, I call it the triple helix. It's amazing. I'm just looking for an IT firm now to put it together, and
amazing.
In fact, it's just Dr.
Beautiful.
Tony, thank you very much. You are an amazing person, and I just don't know how to say, because I don't want to sound as if I'm marketing.
I'm telling you. Well, if you have to market, I mean, it's easy to put,
no, all this aggressive marketing. That's what I'm trying to say. But it's an opportunity that you will never regret.
Absolutely.
It. I started from the few webinar like this.
Yes. And I don't care. You work with the tertiary. You consult with the tertiary organization, right? Or you work there.
Yes.
I know you're in the tertiary education space. Amazing.
So
well done.
There are so many. In fact, there are so many consulting firms. It's just that the opportunities are much, and even if you have any idea, Dr. Tony can help you expand. Is a holistic program. It's not, even if Dr. Tony is telling you education, when it comes to management, Dr. Tony is there. When it comes to, there is a way she does it. I don't really.
every amazing,
Yes.
amazing.
Yes. Even the testimony I'm hearing now, she's hearing it also for the first time. But
yes,
absolutely.
Yes,
like 7 different ones, and it's not only about the certification, the knowledge. You need to see when they were teaching us, it was this evaluation process, that GSDC Council certification. They were teaching us these 4 levels of evaluation. There's this popular man, I forgot. It was, God, like 4 days. You need my level of monitoring and evaluation
has skyrocketed
on another level now.
Amazing.
Thank you,
So
Dr.
in fact,
Tony.
we just had a cohort that rounded up yesterday night. In fact, we were on the call till they didn't want to let me go. As usual, Aderoke, you know how the one-on-one is always like this. Final day, they want to, I felt like crying. But I was like, guess what? A new cohort will be starting on Monday. And the beautiful thing is that you can pay in 2 installments. But I would really encourage you, if you can stretch, because the truth is that it's not cheap. It's 150,000 naira. However, we have another. If you want to just go through the course and you don't want to be mentored and coached by me, that goes for just 70,000. But if you want to be mentored and coached by me, that is 150,000 for level 1. This course has 3 levels. And what are you going to be learning? A bit about the understanding of the education sector that I've shared, but you are going to be learning in depth. Transitioning from an educator to an education consultant, education consulting skills, conducting educational needs assessment, education consulting process, education consulting models, framework, and tools, curriculum design and development for education consultants, education consulting implementation strategies, monitoring and evaluation of education consulting assignments, and comprehensive education consulting reports. I see somebody in the room, Sheyi. I want to specially acknowledge all the tenacious work you've been doing. I see you on the call away from Elite. Oluseyi, well done. You don't have a choice. You are enrolling already. It's great to have you on the call tonight. Yeah, I can see your celebration emoji. And I acknowledge every other person, especially. Yes, just before we continue, I have another mentee all the way from, she's Kenyan, and she is a reputable educator all the way from Ghana. Lucy is also joining us tonight. So Lucy, let's hear your voice. Lucy, you know you are owing me something this September, and I am still on your case. Lucy, please unmute your mic and let's hear your voice. Lucy was 2 cohorts ago. Yeah, over to you, Lucy.
Yeah. How are you, doctor?
I'm doing great. And you? Are you back in Ghana? Or you still in Kenya?
I'm good. No, I'm back in Ghana. I came back a week ago. So I'm back to work now. Yes.
Wow.
I know I owe you something, and that's part of what I want to talk about. It's been a blessing meeting Doctor. I can tell you she picked me, I don't know, it was just miraculous. That's how I'm looking at it. It's like I just stumbled on one of the posts on social media, and I decided to attend one of the webinars like this. And from there, she just decided from nowhere to hold my hand. She's gone out of the way to give me the necessary support to push me. I'm the kind of person who the ideas are in the head, but practically there's a lot of mark timing that I do, and I don't seem to be moving. So she really has kind of gotten me out of the cocoon. And the first thing that we worked on, and I'm very, very proud of being associated with Doctor, was our webinar. I keep telling everybody, my first webinar. Oh, it was wonderful. A lot of people came in. They really appreciated. She was my guest speaker. It was just awesome. And she had also given me some other ideas what I need to do. I've been in the field of education for over 30 years, just about to retire, hopefully by the end of this year. So I'm also thinking of ideas of how to document my leadership journey. That was an idea that came from Doctor. So that is something that I'm also doing, and I'm hoping to be able to complete it before I retire, so that, yeah, it's out there before I actually retire. Right now, what she's saying I owe her is a second webinar, paid webinar this time. The first one was free. The second is a paid webinar, and I have good news. I have a school owner who has agreed to be my guest speaker. I've done the poster, so very soon I'm going to share it with you, and we are just working on the date. We're working on the date, so that is on point. It's coming. Sorry, it's late, but it is coming.
Yeah.
I was still looking for somebody to do it. Yes.
Wow.
So I've really learned a lot. I did the first section of the training. I'm yet to pay and start the second, which I'll do very soon. Let me just settle. This is the beginning of the academic year. When things come down, then I'll be able to jump in and start. But I can tell you the learning is awesome. You need to be in the program if you're not there, because it's at your own pace, and there's a lot of learning that goes on. Any question that you have at the end of every module, you'll find that the question has been answered. And as the previous speaker said, anytime you approach Doctor, you send a message, even if she's not available at that time, she'll tell you tomorrow morning, I'll answer. But at least you'll have heard from her. I don't know where she gets the energy, but yes. So there's a lot of support that you get from Doctor, and you know, just the energy, the excitement that she has rubs on, and you just feel like you really need to move on. Even right now, what you presented on the slide, you know, telling us about yourself, I'm sorry, I've done the same. I've just written mine right now, so I'm copying you. So yes, so learn as you go on. There's a lot that we can learn. I'm really, really hoping to move on to school improvements. School improvement,
fantastic
accreditation. I took my school through a long period of accreditation. They finally got it, and I've gone through it in my previous. So that's an area I really, really want.
That must be well documented in your portfolio. In fact, if you can write an ebook on that process, a lot of schools are looking forward to learn how they could get accredited. So you already have a gold mine in your hand, Lucy. Will you do that for me?
Thank you so much. Thank you. I will work on it.
Create a course around it. Create a course around it. Create an ebook around it. Create templates around it. Create. Oh my God. I'm super excited to see you tonight. So we have we have the latest.
I'm here with my pepper pen. Anytime I talk to Doctor, my pen and paper, it's always there, because there's always something to be written down. Yes.
Amazing.
So thank you so much. God bless you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Dr. Beauty, I see you. I'm still coming to you, but let's continue with the lecture. So yes, if there's anything that had been an amazing experience for me as an education consultant, is how to bring about support for teacher development. And that's what a lot of us do, that we call consulting. My students will tell you that if you're a facilitator, you call yourself a consultant. Like they say in Nigerian parlance, they play, you are playing, because they know that consulting is way deeper than that. Do I have a witness in the house? Alumni. However, the truth is that it's a tool in consulting, and it's actually helping educators to enhance their teaching skills and adapt to new instructional methods or technologies. This one is usually overflowed. This is a saturated market, I will tell you the truth. If you notice, I hardly do teacher training. Now I'm doing more of train the trainers, and that is also a solution I was able to create through creative problem solving, right? And you know, that is something that is beautiful, because it helps to work across board. Now, this is me. I'm the former Minister for Education. Dr. Obi Ekwesili. You can see the way we are looking at ourselves smiling. She is a mentor to me. I mean, I actually ran a program with the School of Politics, Policy and Governance in 2023. My group emerged the best group. And I mean, she knows me in person. It was a lot of work being a part of that class. But guess what? That class opened me up to advocacy and policy reforms across education sector. So when the opportunity comes for stuff like that, I'm well prepared, where I can provide strategic advisory to policymakers and government bodies to advocate for policy changes that will improve the quality of education and accessibility. And guess what? I'm not limiting myself to Nigeria. So if I don't get the space in Nigeria, Kenya is there, Ghana is there, Cote d'Ivoire is there, South Sudan is there, Gabon is there, right? Malawi is there. Now, I'm expanding our minds to let us know that that is one beautiful. So, I mean, you just heard from someone from Ghana and Kenya. I've never seen Lucy before. I've never even seen Aderoke before. I've never seen 90% of my mentees before. But with technology and the social media space, there is a whole lot of connections. Right now, I have connections in about 20 countries. So you people have not seen anything. If you think, Dr. Tonya has gone far, I just the stats. So there is a lot that is being done because I mean there's a lot of work. So this is me en route Addis Ababa, where I went to provide a high expertise training for a school I consult for in Ivory Coast. It's called the Fountain Missions International School. You can Google it. The school, in fact, I had a meeting with the entire team of about 40 teachers thereabouts. That was sometimes earlier this month, right? We had the teacher audit and we reviewed the entire work plan that they had for the 2024-2025 academic session, okay? Stuff like that. You won't see me post it on social media because that one, it's a virtual consulting, but I was here. They sponsored the trip. I was in Cote d'Ivoire for a week. And what was I doing? I was making sure that I was consulting a stable, I was giving in-depth in addressing a lot of issues in that school. And that actually gave me a stable and potentially lucrative career. You can see the way I was looking fresh. I just finished eating very, very nice fruits and all of that. And so it also provides specialized expertise where you can niche down. So concerning the niche, somebody was asking me when we were rounding up with the 4th cohort for the year. By the way, each cohort we have between 5 to 10 participants. And somebody was asking me during the last cohort for the last, one of them is here. I'll still call her to say something. And she was asking me that, okay, Dr. Soin, do you mean that when it comes to the niche, I shouldn't spread my tentacles? I said, this is what I would advise. Build a strong brand around a particular niche first. Let people know you for it. Do it very well. Do it consistently. Do it excellently. Do it extraordinarily, such that by the time you move to another niche, what happens? The brand proposition that you have built will spread. So as a matter of fact, quite a lot of us know that I'm now a brand ambassador for a real estate company. I'm not struggling in that real estate company. Why? Because my brand as an educator has rubbed off that in a week I get between 8 to 9 leads for the real estate company. And of course, yes, I earn commission because that's why I'm a brand ambassador, helping to push the brand. So you can see how powerful when you do your work diligently in one sector can actually cut across to another sector, right? I'm seeing the questions, I will attend to them. Then the aspect of contributing to educational equity, bridging educational gaps, the real difference in the lives of the underdeserved population. Now, I'm also actively involved in the SDG. Of course, we know SDG 4 stands for education. And what does this do? This actually provides me with platforms. Now, one of the things that you need to know is that you need to begin to volunteer for international educational organizations. Look out for them. And as Aderoke has said, when you are done with our course at Core Skills, we don't throw you out. I mean, we have over 70 alumni where we share opportunities from time to time. And it's amazing that I mean, I was just hearing so much from everyone because I just shared the link for them to know whether they will take it on or not. So the fact that you're on that alumni group does not even automatically put, so you have to be up and doing. But what am I saying? Volunteering for international organization gives you platforms. You know, you've heard about the ABC of branding, but we have A, B, C, and P. The A stands for appearance. Okay, you need to appear well. I mean, it's only God that looks at the heart. Man will still look at your physical appearance. So dress for the occasion. Yeah. For example, I'm coming from Hangouts. If you have my contact, go and check my status. There's a lot of pepper on my status when we are done. Adequately dressed for the Hangouts, and guess what? They were coming to me for interviews. They were coming to me for pictures. Because I was dressed for the occasion. And guess what? I was able to network with a lot of organizations across the corporate space. I intentionally planned for that outing, how I was going to introduce myself. By the time I was done introducing myself, the entire room of over 70 practitioners, we are only 3 educators in that meeting today, and they all stood up to clap. So your appearance matters in the way you speak, the way you carry yourself, your courage, and all of these are all the things that rub off on you if you join the inner circle. That's the truth. So we have the appearance, we have the behavior, okay, and then we have the communication. So you're communicating in your speaking, in your writing, in your listening, and in your reading. All right. So I don't want to deviate too much. Another thing is rewarding and fulfilling work. There's never been a time that I'm so excited. So when people say, I don't know where she gets her energy from and all of that, seeing lives move from one level of glory to another fuels my passion sincerely. And when my mentees reach out to say, oh, doctor, I've been able to do this, I will go. They know me. I would even now add to some people say, I don't know. If I had known, I would not even have disturbed it because this one now that have given me more assignment. Take, for example, Lucy was just sharing that the school has gotten accredited, and I've given her more opportunities for her to learn, to increase her influence, to even build her niche right there in Ghana. And by the way, we'll be in Ghana. We have a major summit that's going to be coming up next year. I'm working out with Lucy, and Kenya and other African countries we're going to be extending to next year by the grace of God. So one of my mentees went with me to Cote d'Ivoire and Addis Ababa last year, right? Because, I mean, she wanted to learn more about international consulting. So in all of these things that I've said, I would really, really encourage you. We're starting the new cohort September 1st, but even if you can't miss off September 1st, the deadline, you can always pay for your first installment. Or if you even want to say, doctor, you know what, I want to pay 3 installments and give your payment plan. We could also work something flexible out with you. So what am I saying? We can even be patient till September 6th for you to be able to. So just make sure you indicate the interest. Make sure you are able to say, doctor, please reserve my spot, and then we are good to go. So finally, I'm going to be introducing Dr. Beauty. Dr. Beauty is the cohort that just rounded up. And please, we have questions in the chat. And while I'm answering those questions, you're going to learn a lot as well. So I would advise you still stay on the call. We'll be wrapping up latest by 8:30. All right. Dr. Beauty, are you still here? If you're here, please unmute your mic. Okay, so I don't think she's here anymore. So let me just stop sharing. So you can contact me. My number is in any of the group. My number is everywhere. Send a DM, call the numbers on the flyer or whatever script, grab this flyer, whatever, and you are good to go. So I'm going to stop sharing this because I need to answer the questions in the chat. And like Yorubas will say, the answer is in the eyes. Thank you so much. Oh, I can see all the plenty emojis. I can see. So, and even if you can't do the one that has to do coaching and mentoring, you can pay just 70,000 for the one that has to do with. Thank you, Emmanuel. Thank you so much. You can do the one that has to do with just the course. Even if you can't do that one, you can actually get the book. So, I mean, the book is 15,000 naira. The course without the coaching is 70,000. The course with the coaching, which I would highly recommend, is 150,000 naira. So yeah, I want to get right into answering questions. Okay, so I'm going to. Oh, okay. Beauty has left the call. She had dropped a comment. Oh, wow. Okay, so let me start from the question that was asked. Okay, yeah. Okay, Olufunsho says trauma care for teachers and school counselor. So this is not a bad problem in itself, but also you need to look at the marketability of the problem you want to solve. So you have to think of how well can you then package this. So I studied educational psychology for my master's degree, and I was so excited when I studied that course. But as at the time I was done, by the way, I did my master's way back 2009. Yeah. Wow, that was a long time ago. And, you know, I was so excited about the course, but the market was not ready for it. So how many teachers can actually afford to pay for therapy? To pay for trauma, I mean, when they're still struggling to eat. So you may want to consider partnerships, you may want to consider other things that you can do that could be a low-hanging fruit, or you can segment your customer, what's it called now? Customer base for the kind of teachers and school counselors you want to attend to, the A-list schools, the likes of rugby schools, the likes of Charterhouse, the likes of Children's National School, Green Springs, Corona. Those are the kind of people you'll be able to market this kind of services for. So it's a good solution. However, you need to consider the marketability and the business viability. Okay. So let me continue with the charts. Okay, MS. Okay, Nora says, how can I be a solution to this hybrid? Is to highlight the importance of hybrids to the school and the teachers for staff retentions and parents too. So whilst you have been able to share it here, the very important key that you need to know here is how can you make money out of this? Because all this one you're still speaking is English. So you need to come closer for guidance. So how does all of these things convert to money? Where's the place of impact count? Where's the place of return on investment? Where's the place? Okay, why is a good idea? You need to be able to make sure that it can communicate clearly. Okay, so let's move on. Okay, Beauty says, thanks so much, Dr. My boss. I appreciate you for the eye-opening through the ECCP level 1. I'm signing out shortly because I have an meeting. I apologize for leaving before the close of the webinar. Okay. Okay, Miracle says, I want to start out as a special needs consultant. Now, special needs consulting is also very wide. You need to niche down. Are you considering autism? Are you considering cerebral palsy? Are you considering reading or speech delays? Are you considering ADHD? So it's also a very wide spectrum. And how can you start building your brand around that? So you need to learn it. So I have started going to schools with my CVs and proposals. Do you think it's a good to go? What other ways can I put myself out so that schools can receive wholeheartedly? Miracle, sign up for the ECCP program. This is a consulting. When you come into the fold, I'm going to be able to answer this question effectively for you. Now, but I'm going to touch a bit on this so that you won't be as if, but yeah, I have a right to ask. Do you know how much I invest in myself annually? You don't want to know. It's in millions of naira. Now, what I want to say is that putting out your CV and proposal is not enough. There is a strategy to this. You must be able to carry out some diagnosis. There's a way you can enter into the schools, penetrate, because CVs and proposals can easily be trashed. So the fact that you have submitted your CVs and proposals and you think they will call you, nah, it's not automatic. You need to be able to approach the school in such a way that you have conversation, you carry out some diagnosis, you are able to give them and we have specific questions you need to ask for diagnosis. Now, the problem that a lot of us also do is that we don't understand the education consulting process. And we shoot ourselves with a gun in the leg. We start churning out, opening our mouth and pouring out ideas and information like somebody that has diarrhea of the mouth. I'm not talking to you, Miracle. I'm just saying generally. And these are the things that I had also suffered because initially I did not know the ropes until when I went to the School of Consulting in UK, where I paid about $500,000. That was way back in 2020, in the midst of COVID or shortly after coming out of COVID. Yeah, 2021, yes. January, it was a 12-week course. That was when I learned the entire process of consulting, and then I graduated as an expert business consultant. So there's a lot you need to learn, right? Miracle. Thank you for the question. Oh yes, Emmanuel, there's definitely a recording. Okay, so I think that's all that I can see in the chat, and I believe that I've been able to answer all our questions. So thank you everyone for joining me tonight. It's been a pleasure being your host, and I'm sure we gained value. We were able to learn one or two things from tonight's conversation. So thank you once again for being here and enjoying yourself. So you may want to unmute. We are done with the session tonight. Please remember to reach out to me. We are extending our opportunities to Emmanuel. Okay, is that a mistake or you want to say something? You're welcome, Gloria. Thank you so much. Yeah, Oluwase, let's see inbox. Because all the money you made this holiday period, you have to start dropping some so that you can move higher. Yeah, Emmanuel, go ahead.
Yes, good evening, Doctor. I wanted to confirm the price for the book on consulting.
Yes, it's 15,000 naira. But you know, we have a special arrangement, Emmanuel. You know. So Emmanuel is an executive with my free WhatsApp community. Yeah. So Emmanuel, you have some fantastic discount if you want to get the book. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Thank you, ma.
You're welcome. All right. So any other question? I mean, it's time to go. You may want to unmute your mic and say good night to everybody. Thank you so much for spending your Saturday evening with me, and I'm sure it's been worth your time. So I remain your host, your coach, your mentor, your super ordinary global education consultant, Dr. Tony Sam Emehelu. So thank you so much for coming into my space, and for those that are going to be watching the replay of this video, please comment, share something that you learn and you're taking away. Thank you so much for joining, and enjoy the rest of your evening. Yeah.